people like dismiss trading because it's gambling, because it is. But like we are in the objective to be successful gamblers. Sometimes you do need to like get hit a little bit. It's not to say you need to blow up an account, or like it doesn't mean that you have to have like some rock bottom moment, like some like Spider-Man canon event or something. Trading is pretty lonely. There's not too many outlets to really talk about trading, especially in this type of community where it almost seems as if everyone is a beginner. And I think people are just not really talking about the right things.
Trading has like a high failure rate, right? Or at least that's like the stat that gets thrown around, like 90% fail. So like what made you pick trading over like everything else out there that might have a lower failure rate, and might even be easier and like give you money quicker?
I wouldn't necessarily say I picked it. To give a little bit of context, I guess I just have an entrepreneurial mind. So I'm always trying to figure out like what that next side hustle is, a little bit like Ed, Edd and Eddy, if you used to watch that. And
I did. Barely,
kind of
yeah.
just, oh, okay, yeah. But they're always just trying to figure something out to make money. And I, along with a lot of people, just fell into the whole game stonk era. And I think
Yeah.
that was what, 2021-ish, like start of it. And I was just doing some random options because I just heard like that's the thing. I've already been in the markets just long term, but I just randomly heard about what options were because that's what was blowing up. And I've just got a lot of money from an AMC call, and it was so quick. I left profits on the table, and I kind of just panic sold with still some profits. But that's kind of the moment when I was like, oh, wow, you can actually make money with this.
Yeah.
So then that's when I just started doing research. And I just uh, I like the whole concept of trading because I don't really like interacting with people. And I think it was like a godsend, like something you can do to make money, and you don't have to like talk to a customer or be face to face. Because like another thing I was interested in was real estate, and I don't know how I would feel just talking with people all the time. So that's why I like doing this so far.
I'm kind of similar. I'm trying to be less introverted, but I still am introverted, and like I live alone. I enjoy spending a lot of time alone, just like doing my own thing, having freedom. And I had a similar thought. I was like, trading, like I don't have to talk to anyone. I don't have to worry about getting customers.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about making some sort of product or service. It's just me and the charts, and like how much effort I put into it is what I thought. Um, but I think there's a little bit more than that, which we can talk about later.
Yeah.
Did you have any? So real estate was that the only other option, for real estate or trading
Mm.
or what?
Um, I've dabbled a little bit into the e-commerce space with Amazon FBA. If I suddenly just couldn't trade anymore, I'd probably just go into one of those two things. Uh,
Yeah,
I feel like it just makes the most sense with like scalability. But I know down the line, trading is just a stepping stone because I will always get into real estate one way or another because I always wanted to for the tax benefits. I just don't really know in what medium that would be. It feels like Airbnb arbitrage, which I hear is not doing too well right now. Or just, renting out the other side of a duplex or something like that. But it was either that with being a real estate agent or just, doing Amazon FBA, which is also don't really have to communicate too much. I think it's really just like emails back and forth with some of like your services.
this might be a weird question, but why did you want to come on the podcast if you don't really like talking to people, I guess?
Um, well, I mean, I do say that. I would say more of an ambivert, but I think maybe you'd understand this too. Just someone that trades like all by myself. Trading is pretty lonely. Um,
Yeah.
there's not too many outlets to really talk about trading, especially in this type of community where it almost seems as if everyone is a beginner. Um, and I think people are just not really talking about the right things to just advance like everyone as traders to begin with. So I watch a lot of trading on TikTok and YouTube. I'm in the entire ICT niche, so I'm kind of just lurking. And yeah, I've seen all of your TikToks already. So, I like kind of the way you approach things. And I thought we'd get a good conversation out of it because I don't really see anyone else right now kind of doing that other than I know ICT has been doing some podcasts with some of his successful students.
Yeah.
But I think this is like an important type of thing you're doing. Like, it's not really just interviewing successful traders because we do want to get the real perspective of things.
Yeah. I appreciate you pointing that out because like that is the whole point. Literally every podcast out there is just successful people, and it's like it's valuable obviously, but like at the same time, especially in trading, it's like everyone seems to go down the same path, have the same beginning. Everyone thinks it's like quick and easy, and then everyone realizes it's not. So it's like there's a disconnect, I feel like. And yeah. Um, so how long have you been trading for again? I can't remember.
Uh, Pretty much, yeah, 2.5 years. Started.
Okay.
I started my educational phase December, January. It's like December 2020 into January 2021. And then that's when I started like rolling out trading February, let's say February 2021. And then I've been trading since. So still green technically in terms of, I mean, I'm still kind of new to it, I'd
Yeah.
say. So I know you've been doing it for like 6 years, right?
Yeah. My 6-year
Mm.
anniversary actually I think it was June or May. So before I know it, it's going to be 7 years and then 10 years. And then I'm going to be like ICT trading for however long, 20, 25 years.
And that's awesome. I mean, how many things can you say you've been doing for so long,
That's true. I mean, lifting is the only other thing. Lifting I've been doing for longer.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess just like,
Yeah, you don't talk about that too much.
no, I did post one TikTok just because I wanted to start talking about more than just trading. And I'm still going to do that. Yeah. I guess I didn't want to stray too far away from trading. So I went right back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What do you think is like the biggest lesson you've learned so far? Or like from when you first started, how you traded to how you trade now? Like what's the biggest difference?
Biggest difference is definitely my risk management. I think the way I was brought up in trading did not really facilitate like proper risk management because I did a lot of theta plays and selling options. And there's just so many different ways where you can manage an option in that way where you can, cut it short if you're negative a certain dollar amount, or you can cut it short based on like the days of expiration. You can even hedge your position and then just ride your position until max loss. So there's just so many things. You have so many different mentors, and they never really taught a complete system. So I was a little bit in the dark. Like I had a couple of the pieces of the puzzle, but it just didn't completely fit. So my risk management was absolutely lacking in terms of like those 3 pillars of trading. That kind of led to like one of my rock bottom moments. And then I think that's kind of where everything turned around.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about that moment, or is it like too much, or what?
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, so when I started trading in my first year, I doubled my portfolio,
Yeah,
and
nice.
I was kind of feeling a little bit of I forget the imposter syndrome because I was like,
Yeah,
this doesn't really make any sense. Like, is it like really
it's
just
too
this
easy.
easy?
Yeah,
And I know you like tripled your account with like penny stocks when you first started. So it's like same position. I'm just like something has to like go wrong. Like, especially with the types of like strategies I would be doing, you just let it expire, worthless, and you don't really do much managing. So I would say if your position just expires worthless, like I don't really know what you learn if you're not challenged and you have to like manage drawdown. So that moment did hit, like that black swan event. That was the Putin invasion, and that was like one of the worst days ever. Um, I pretty much lost like 50 to 60% of my personal capital within the span of a day or two. And the the funniest thing, um, I'm sure like with your tenure, you know about like selling options and everything, right?
I like selling options. I haven't heard of that. I don't really trade options that much.
Okay, that's fine. So I won't even get into it, but basically, like let's say like SPX was at a price of 4,000. So I pretty much just had my position in which like we were not going to drop below 4,000. But then
Mm.
like the invasion happens and we like went down, let's just say like 3,800. Like it was bad. It was like really bad. And my it was like a Wednesday. My option was expiring on a Friday. So I was like, I'm so red in the water. Like, what do I do? Like, how do I properly manage this? Because I didn't do it properly. I ended up cutting my losses short. So that's what the 50 to 60% loss was. And lo and behold, I think by the end of the week on that Friday, there was a gigantic reversal. And if I literally just didn't touch anything, I would have been completely in the green. And that impacted like my following year of my trading career like so badly, like just
Mm.
dealing with that type of loss.
Yeah, it's crazy how you hear a lot of traders talk how like all it takes is one trade to like you can literally lose everything and more in one trade, or like in your case you can lose a large amount of it, and while you take that loss and you can still kind of like continue to trade, it affects your confidence and the way you think. So like, it's although the loss is like realized, it's still like I guess unrealized in your mind. You're just always dealing with it. Like, man, I can't believe I just lost 50% in like a day. Um, that's just
Yeah, it
that's one of the hard things about trading. Like super emotional. Luckily I never lost. I did lose a lot to me when I was in college. I bought some biotech stock. I went to sleep and I woke up and I was I was down a couple $100, which
well,
I think it was 50% or more of my position, which to me, like I was like just getting into college. Like I was like, holy crap. Like that's a lot of money to me. Well, that's like the
yeah,
worst.
yeah, yeah, it's
That's
all
the
relative.
worst. Mhm. Luckily I haven't lost like thousands or, um, pretty much since my beginning, I've been very good with risk management. Like I can't remember the last time I took like a big loss, which is good.
Mm. Yeah, it's good, but bad things can always manifest in other ways because I know I'm well aware of like the death by 1,000 paper cuts method too. Thank goodness I haven't had to go through that, but I could imagine that that's almost as bad.
Just slowly bleeding out the account. Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Hmm.
That's kind of what I went through just now when if you're watching my TikToks, you know I started like the new plan where I'm actually sticking to it instead of always bouncing around. Um, I had 3 winners.
Right.
So I was up a lot, like almost 100 points. Futures trading, like micro contracts, so that's like $5 a point, so like $500. Demo trading, and then I literally went on I just ended the losing streak today. Actually, I went on a 14 trade losing streak,
Nice.
and I lost all 96 points and went -9 points, and then today I made back 20 points, which, like, I know it sounds like it's probably an outcome of like mistakes, but I don't really think it was. And if it was a mistake, then it was within like the plan itself, because like all I was doing was following the plan. Um,
Right.
and like I honestly just think I got unlucky. Although 14 in a row is like I've never in 6 years I haven't had a losing streak that bad. So um, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here, but hopefully the 1,000 paper cut doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, so with that one trade, the winning trade you had today, and with all of your losses, you're still net positive on points, are you?
Now I am. I went from plus 96
Okay.
to -9 to plus 11. Because I made 20 points today.
Okay, nice. I mean, I still think that's still pretty valuable. Like if that happened to me, and it almost kind of was because my loss streak would be an average of 3 losing trades in a row. And then I think last month it turned into 6. I was like, wow, are you serious? So then, but now I kind of understand that, yeah, it's going to happen, like Murphy's Law. Like it's just going to happen. So I'm waiting for that moment where like my loss streak will be like 10 plus. But in your situation, now that you're still net positive, I think one of the best things you can do while trading is learning for like free in a way, in which you just came back from a 14 loss streak with your win today, and now you're still plus positive points. So now you have all of that data from your loss streak and you're positive. So now, like when you start trading till the end of this month and in the future, you have all this new knowledge to apply and maybe figure out what the pattern was behind that, or if it was just luck.
Yeah. It's hard to believe it's luck. So there might have been, because this is also my first time trying discretionary trading instead of like purely mechanical and like rule based. So that probably, there's a reason I didn't jump straight to live, because I knew like whenever you change something or try something new with your strategy or any rules, like you need to give it a trial period first, because you're not, at least in my opinion, for me, like I know I might not be able to do it 100%, or there might be something I don't realize until I try it out a little bit first. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you've never been on a huge losing streak like that, like over 10 trades?
No, nothing like that. It's like when I did used to lose, I would just straight up lose big. But so far with what I'm currently trading, which like one of the strategies is one of ICT's models, biggest loss streak so far is 6 losses. And I started doing that back in March. But I would consider like, real, like my real like live trading to be right starting in May. Yeah, that's when I was serious. So still not a lot of time to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you'll have time to. So will I. I'll have time to figure out if something's working or not, or what I want to do. Who did you originally
Hmm.
learn from? Because you mentioned ICT a couple times.
Yeah. So going all the way back from 2021, where I was doing options trading, my first educational resource was Tastyworks. If you heard of that broker,
Yeah, I know
they pull out so much research.
they have that one guy.
And so, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's a delay, but they have that one guy. I think with he always wears that hat. He's kind of old. That's
Yeah.
all I know. I always see him on. I think I
Yeah.
follow.
Parsnov. Yeah. He's pretty cool. I mean, I just like the fact that he was a floor trader and he has like a lot of accolades. And, that's the type of person I'd like to learn from. So he was kind of my first. Um, I think also the YouTuber In the Money, like he was huge in regards to just me learning about trading to begin with. And then after that, it was all just I was jumping around Discords, um, and it's really interesting because I mean I've probably messed around with no more than 6 trading strategies so far in 2.5 years. And while I was doing those strategies, I was just still in the game. Like not, I've never blown up an account, but I was always still in the game to where, with my continuous learning, I just find the next mentor to kind of bring me to where I needed to be next.
That's awesome. I think that's a
So
big.
it's just yeah, a lot of Discord. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just a lot of Discords, and then in March, I think that's when I found ICT because I started following a lot of TikTok accounts because I just wanted my For You page to just be about like trading because like I needed to like figure out like I needed to get better, and then that's how I found that entire niche.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm kind of similar where I haven't blown an account, um, which I think is like an achievement. Most traders have like blown multiple accounts, which like
Yeah.
it's like what you said. It's just getting you from whatever you need to do to get from where you're at right now to like the next level and the next level and the next level, and keeping yourself in the game long enough so you can get to whatever level you need to be like consistent. Do you
Mhm.
do you
Yeah,
you said
because
you mainly trade with ICT concepts now?
yeah, what I was doing was 2 other strategies. One was doing weekly iron condors, where I'd sell that, and then I would also sell zero DTE options. And I only just trade SPX, but then now I've put more focus on um, ICT's strategy because with the market currently going up a lot and the volatility is dropping, it's not really too good for selling options right now. Plus, I found much more success with ICT's models. So, yeah, I'm just really liking it so far. So I'm putting a lot more focus in that right now.
Is that like your next step in your journey, like learning more about ICT's concepts, or what is your next step?
Yeah, I think so. Um, to be honest, I was thinking about this today and I was talking about it. Um, I feel as if I'm kind of almost getting there because it was really just that initial blowback where I lost like half of my account, um, in which I was kind of perpetually just catching up that dollar amount to get it back because I had like lost almost all of my gains. But once I realized that I don't need to catch up to a certain number again, like that doesn't define like my skill as a trader. I still know how to trade. It was just kind of like that one moment where I kind of just screwed myself over, and that something like that has never happened again since. I make sure of that. But the thing that attracted me so much with ICT's teachings is because of all of the knowledge that I already had. The way he packages it, which is a lot of concepts we're well aware of, it just made so much more sense to me. And just the way I mean, when you just say like entering off a fair value gap after a market structure shift, etc., I mean, that's essentially just like a pullback after like hitting a support or resistance. It's like all the same thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was able to just package all of these concepts together, whereas I would have to go from like mentor to mentor to learn just like one piece of that puzzle. Um, he kind of just aligned everything for me. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So the stuff I've been learning, it all kind of makes sense. It's kind of like just universal truths about the market. And it was hilarious because now that I'm more of a scalper, it was almost painfully funny that like most of the time when I would enter, like before ICT, like my position would immediately reverse. And then the way ICT taught me about just liquidity sweeps and just how to understand auction market theory, like I basically have just been, the positions I take are essentially like the opposite of what I would have taken like back then. So it just like completely like flipped the light switch. It was so weird to be honest, but it just makes sense to me. I don't know if it's just like a seasonal thing, like beginner's luck, but so far it's good. Like it keeps me confident. Like I understand the edge, and I've been like doing a lot of back testing and journaling.
That's awesome. Yeah. Do you see yourself like continuing with ICT? Like you're that confident in it? You think it's either gonna be ICT or nothing or what? I know a lot of people are like super diehard ICT.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't like ICT that much as an instructor. Um, Very hard to learn from him, but I have stopped like taking in content from people now, like educational content. I mean, sure, if it's like a refresher of something I'm aware of, then like, yeah, I'm pretty open-minded. But I guess what I really mean is like my phase of continuous learning is almost no longer about like strategies or learning like how other people do things. It's all just within now. Like the only thing I can really learn from at this point is my own journal. So like that's what my focus of continuous learning has switched to. So it doesn't stop. I mean, it never ends, the learning. I mean, I'll probably find like some other person that handles ICT's concepts in a different way, and maybe I'll take a little bit of that and then add that to my model. But really just like my journal is the only thing I really need at this point.
I'm at the same point, which I think I've said in some of my videos, where like I no longer am looking to learn from other people or even ICT. Like the other day, because I still kept his tweet notifications on my phone, but I would always just swipe them away. So now I'm just like, okay, I don't even want to potentially, I never like used his tweets as alerts. Although like that would be profitable, it's not self-sufficient to me. So I just don't want that to even happen where I see, oh, he's bullish, and then that influences my trading because like I know he's like pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I just
that's the word.
so I just keep all his I keep his tweet notifications off. And like he just released some new, like 2 or 3 new concepts within like the past month, hasn't he? Like another new week opening gap or new day opening gap, fair value gap. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank God
the
it's
range
Friday
stuff.
strategy.
Yeah, like range. Yeah, the thank God it's Friday, and then there's like some Reaper model
Yeah.
thing that he just came
Like,
out with, and
like you
I
just
I have a bad habit of just adding. Yeah, it's on my YouTube watch later, but I'm like, that's like an hour long. Like, come on.
yeah, no, I'm not even interested in watching that right now. The way I'm going about it is like 20 trades at a time. So I have one I have one trade left. So I mean, at this point, I think I'm still gonna go another 20 trades, like demo trading, since it was so close. Like, cause even if I lose tomorrow, the max I'll lose is 10 points. So um, I'll be basically break even. And if I win, it'll be like, I'll be
Mhm.
plus like 30 or 40 points, which is like decent, but like, I don't really like that I had such a big losing streak. Um, so until I get to, like, if I were to continuously do 20 trades, 20 trades, 20 trades, and like I couldn't find a way to be profitable, then I think I would have to, between each of those like sets of 20 trades, I'll have to adjust, adapt, and see like, eventually, I'll probably start looking into like the California Reaper fair value gap and the TGIF stuff, but not right now. It's just like, I after 6 years, I hope I would know enough. And like after studying ICT for like almost a year now.
Yeah, that's hard to say. I know I'm aware of like comments that also do like mention that you have been trading for 6 years, and you're still kind of trying to find um, like where you land in it all. But it's not really a fair analysis because it doesn't. You weren't doing 6 years of ICT. Like,
No.
yes, you're getting some stuff you learned about what you did with penny stocks. You're getting a little bit of what you did with your double pullback strategy,
Yeah.
and everything, and it all comes in together. So like, it's not really fair to say. That's like saying, um, I've been playing. Like, I started playing the piano when I was maybe like 8. It's like, am I supposed to say I've been playing the piano for 20 years? Like, am I supposed to be like some professional at this point? Like, no. Like, people even take breaks. Um, I think I feel like that just needed to be said because it puts things into perspective. Like, yeah, because we're still technically new at this in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Like, yeah. I'm sure you saw those on that one specific video. I got like so many people just saying like, yeah, 6 years, give up, it's not for you. And I mean, I think again, this goes back to what I said. Like, most people just think it's like a quick thing. It's either like they have a
Mm.
quick mindset, short term. So um, they don't really want to think of it as like, oh, I can't make money on this within the next couple of years. Like, I'll have to wait. Like, me personally, I also didn't think it would take me 6+ years, but this is where I'm at, and like, I'm no longer going to be rushing it and giving myself goals or end of the year targets like I used to, because I like finally
Yeah,
realized, this goes along with what you said. I might have been training for 6 years, but it took me 5 years to realize that I can't rush it. So like, and that
yeah.
changes like the whole process of it, kind of. Uh, Yeah.
There was something you said in one of your old TikToks. I actually had to write it down because it meant a lot to me. You said making money is pretty much worthless once you realize how valuable it is to improve yourself. And that
It's
took
hard.
me, just like, I realized this like last month. Like, it's really no longer about money for me anymore. I mean, I have a job, so like, the money I trade with is money I can just lose. But what I've gained through trading just like the discipline of it all is like so much more than the money I could just potentially gain. Um, I hide my entire P&L and my account balances, so I only see ticks. And yeah, money is really not the goal here. It's really just a process.
How do you feel about ICT preaching about the only reason we trade is for money? Because like I think that's one of the few things that I disagree that he like teaches.
Um, well, yeah, there's definitely some truth into that. Um, I where did I get this from? Yeah, after my like rock bottom phase, I was doing therapy. I think I got it from my therapist. That's kind of what
Uh,
also helped me get over that little hump. Um, it, Trading is difficult because um, it's how success is defined, and I think people incorrectly define success as a trader based on their P&L. And while it's nice that they get their money so that they can achieve their dreams, um, like it just sucks that it kind of shows that you're good at trading because you gain money. Whereas when you're good at trading, like money is just the side effect. Like
yeah,
the way I view success in trading is just following your system. Um, so I am happy when I lose because that's just a data point for me to get better. And then if I win, I win. That's all. But I think that's just the allure of it all. That's what keeps people interested. I think that's why the age base is like 18 to 24, just because they're interested in money is all.
yeah. I think I posted a screenshot in one of my videos of my follower like demographic. It was like 99% men and like 80% uh like 20 and younger. Like it's literally just,
Yeah,
which I mean, it's honestly it's good, I think. At the end of the day, even if they think it is get rich quick, like they're gonna still learn stuff. Like I wasn't I guess it did start at 18, 19 maybe. But still, like some traders on TikTok you'll see they're like 15. And some of them claim to be like profitable even, which like if that's true, like that's crazy. Like good for you. It's better that they spend their time on that than play video games every day like I did. Like I didn't really gain anything from that.
I don't know, man. Well, one thing I'll say if I can back up a little bit is just the nature of TikTok in itself just lends to like a younger demographic. So I think that's just inevitable. But like when you start heading to other platforms like YouTube or Reddit or like certain Discord servers where people could be a little bit older, or maybe like even like that Baby Pips forum, if you've heard of that, you kind of surround yourself with a little bit more mature people. But I have like since I've been looking, like a lot of the content I get is from TikTok. Um, I think it's almost hard. It's pretty hard for me to just be like my goodness, this guy's like 19, like this guy is like 16, and he like has a funded account. Like, this is dumb, but like I have to like fight this like concept of like ageism. Like I can't be an ageist because yeah, just because they're young doesn't mean that they're like technically like dumb. Like they can be good at it. Like when I used to play video games a lot when I was younger, like I was better than the older people because I just spent more time on it because I had nothing else to do.
True. Yeah. I think it's something every generation can get better at is like each generation thinks they're like usually better than the last, um, which is not true. If anything, all the newest generation is always going to be better than all the previous ones because they're coming
Yeah,
up with more resources, more knowledge. They're learning from all the previous generations. So it's like, hey, if you can do this at 20, then like that's awesome. Um,
yeah.
what do you? I keep forgetting my questions. Okay. How how has like pursuing trading affected other areas of your life?
Dude, it's made like everything better, to be honest. The easiest way that I put it is, if you read Atomic Habits, like there's a chapter about like identity. Like if you wanted to be that person, like whoever it is, like a professional athlete, you need to act as if you're a professional athlete. So like in my process of learning ICT, like if I wanted to be like a good trader, like I need to act like these people. You know, I need to keep the stops tight. I need to let the runners run. I need to be disciplined in all aspects of life. I don't know if it was from Trading in the Zone, by Mark Douglas, or that other guy that you mentioned, Brett Steenbarger, which I learned from you. So I was like watching his stuff, and he's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah,
One of them was saying that you just have to be like susceptible to change, sure in trading, but like in change in your entire life. So I fix my sleep schedule. Like I don't snooze like 10 times. I constantly work out. Um, I spend time with my family and friends. Like I don't stay glued to the charts. I keep a healthy balance with all of that. Um, and like that's the real value. That's like so much more valuable than money. Um, like I kind of still have it. Of course, there's always work to be done, but yeah, that's like so much better. I think just the fact that I'm disciplined in like doing things now.
that's awesome, and good work doing that. Because like I go through phases of that where like I started right right before I started trading, like self improvement, just like listening to audiobooks, listening to podcasts, reading
Mm.
books and like different articles and stuff, and just slowly learning and like becoming disciplined. But then like 2 years ago, I went through this weird slump, or like a year and a half, where after I got fired, I like realized I didn't have to really do anything. um, so it just like once I realized that, I just slowly like all my habits and like discipline kind of went down. I still was doing like the bare minimum for trading, which I think back then when I didn't have a job, I was like, I wanted to put in like at least 8 hours a day into trading to like, so that way
Yeah.
it's like a job, you know. Um,
Hmm.
uh, and then like I read Atomic Habits recently, um, and that helped a little bit. And then I've slowly just been the past. It's been getting better, like slowly, but like the past month, I like finally am doing the stuff that like I feel like I am supposed to do. I'm tracking my habits, so I'm hitting like 90% of my habits every week. I'm waking up on time, like you said. That was like the biggest thing. I wouldn't wake up on time,
Mm.
and like I wouldn't understand why. I would wake up and I would feel like super tired. But I know like deep down, even if I felt super tired and maybe I didn't even get any sleep, if like trading was actually important to me, it shouldn't really matter. Um, but like for some reason, I would do it for like a week, and then like I'd go on a couple days where I just slept in, or I would do half days that slept in, half days I woke up, and I just like finally I've been waking up on time pretty much every single day. Um, and yeah, you're right. Like that's much more valuable than just making money. Is like building that discipline and knowing that you can like, in my case, come back from like a, a rut, I guess, or a struggle, an obstacle. It like builds your confidence. It increases my value like internally for myself, and like now I know like next time this happens, like I can overcome it. So like regardless of if I
Mm.
make it in trading in a year or if it's going to take me 10 years, like, I think it's always going to be this thing where I'm constantly improving, which is like so awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy you're able to make those changes. I know you used to say that, yeah, and hard time waking up. I really hate the
Yeah,
worst.
literally, I still sometimes wake up. I'm like, I think I need to get myself checked because my brother has sleep apnea, which he just discovered.
Mm.
So I think I might also have that. Not completely sure, but yeah, like some days I wake up, I'm just like so tired. I'm like, holy crap. Like the last thing I want to do is like, and like I'll put my alarm across the room. I have to get up, pick it up. I have like it play loud music. I have automatic lights turn on. And even after all that, I'll still like, I'll sometimes go to the bathroom even, and I'll still just be so tired. But not anymore. And like, I've just been building on that. So hopefully I don't just snap back to what it was.
I don't know, man. Might be worth it to get a sleep study because I've also tried like so many things like under the sun to like, get myself to wake up. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like interesting seeing the differences because like my mom has sleep apnea too, and like I've messed around with like mouth tape, which I highly recommend. I think that for some reason
Did it
that like
help?
helps me. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how. It just
I've heard
does.
of it. Yeah.
Like I have an eye mask, and I used to chug water, like a whole bunch of water, right before I slept. So like when I woke up, I'd have to use the bathroom. That does work, but it gets actually very annoying because then I started like waking up in the middle of the night just to use the bathroom. It's like impacting me. Um, I stopped like drinking alcohol as much as I would, and that made a huge difference, I think. Um, but yeah, I think we all
That's
need to
good.
get sleep studies. Like everyone needs sleep studies, to be honest.
Uh, you, I mean, it sounds like and looks like you take health seriously, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Do you think, um, has trading affected that in any way? Has it ever like, have you ever chose trading over your health?
Uh, can you give me an example?
The reason I'm asking that is because I think part of the conflict, I would convince myself when I woke up, I'd be tired and I'd be like, because health is always my number one priority. Yet I think the way it goes is
Mm.
health, relationships, and then like trading and business and whatever else like work. Um, so I'd convince myself, oh, I'm tired. I woke up, like maybe I didn't get enough sleep. So I'd be like, health is more important than trading. So like, um, I think I might have worded the question the opposite way though. But do you get what I'm saying?
No, I kind of get you. Yeah, no, I get it now. Yeah, probably the best example for me would be if I wake up a little bit late. So that would mean like 9 a.m. Like 30 minutes before open.
Yeah.
I try to just tell myself like just like shake it off, like be ready for the morning session. Um, and I do trade it sometimes. I be a little bit more. I'm more cautious, I think, but I think that's when I do prioritize trading over my health because I do need to recognize like I just need proper sleep to think properly. But it helps that I do trade in the afternoon as well. So I sometimes I'm like, all right, I didn't get proper sleep, or like I just drank the night before. I'll skip the morning and then I'll trade in the afternoon. So that makes me feel better, at least.
I don't really drink. I drink on like weekends. But you said it made a big difference helping your sleep.
Probably just I think everything in general. That's what
It
people
should, yeah.
say. Um, it just does. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Okay. So then it's affected like it's helped you make better decisions with trading probably too. Uh
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, the other thing that I do like about ICT is how minimalistic his models are.
That's
'Cause
true.
that definitely aligns with my philosophy. So, like, after taking out a lot of indicators, um, like just keeping the charts clean and not having like 8 charts, etc., it does make it a little bit easier, I'd say.
Uh,
Um, mm,
do you have something to add, or because I want to go back to something.
no, I just, yeah, no, I just wanted to say quickly, like, once you kind of have it down or just keep it simple, like, there's this one trader I was learning things from. He would straight up like wake up like 15 minutes before open, um, like in his bed, trade from his phone, and make like a couple of thousand. I'm like, are you kidding? And then he would like go back to sleep after he wins. I was like, what? And this is like some ex Wall Street dude. So I'm like, what? Of course.
Was this an ad or like a? Because I think I've seen an ad like that. It's called like the 5 minute trader or something, 30 minute trader. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. I think that's like the 20-minute trader. And like his
Oh.
whole spiel is that he's like, yeah, I just trade for like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. We all have average duration trades. Like, I know you're trying to market it to like
Yeah.
make it seem easy because like a lot of people do that. They're like, oh, this is how I made like 2K in like 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. But no, it wasn't him. It was like, it was someone else.
Before you mentioned discords, did you find any good ones out there, or any groups or like mentors other than like ICT?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I might as well name drop.
Yeah.
I think the first one that I really um, I got going was like I was just randomly lurking on Reddit, and like this one random comment, just randomly said this one dude options millionaire. So I learned um, volume profile analysis from him, and then within that Discord, I survived long enough to learn from this lady, Tammy Chambliss, who does selling options. Like she is focused more on zero DTE. Um, and then I still survived long enough to find this other guy who his nickname is Vet, and he has his own Discord server now, and he used to run a hedge fund. And he's like a support and resistance scalper, as well as a weekly options trader and other stuff because he still manages people's portfolios. Um, so yeah, that'd be Options Millionaire Discord, and then the other guys is Independent Traders Guild. Kind of expensive, but you kind of that's how you handle Discords. I'd say that you really should not be in the Discord for too long. I mean, as long as you can handle the cost, like you have to get what you can get, and then like you need to trade like on your own, because like you were saying, if you rely on other people's biases or even looking at Discord messages where like, oh, I think I'm gonna go long here, like, oh wait, this is short biased, like it's just gonna screw you over. One of ICT's successful students, Paladin, who's on YouTube, he said the best thing he ever done for himself in his career was just stop. Like he just traded by himself. He like isolated himself from everything, and it was just him and the charts. I think that's like the best thing you can do. I've also done a whole bunch of random signal discords, which
Did any of them
I
work?
probably can't even call out now because I don't even think they're operational anymore. But goodness, I hate signal discords so badly. It's like a personal vendetta.
It didn't work, right? I just want to clarify the signals.
Um, I'll say this. I'll say signals can work. I have a very like strong opinion about this.
Okay.
Um, as someone who doesn't like the philosophy of signal discords, I will say it can work if it's done correctly. And the only way I think that could happen is if you basically have like you're more of like a swing or a position trader. Like that's one. And then two, you really have to. do your calls live. Anyone that's doing a signal service with a scalping methodology makes zero sense because none of their customers, like the users, would be able to keep up with the entries and the exits. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Unless maybe it's on Zoom, then maybe. But like if it's swing trading, I think it's definitely possible. There is this one guy I was doing signals with, and he had like a really good risk reward ratio and like win rate, and it was like going like amazingly well for like 3 to 6 months. That's probably over leveraging, to be honest, but it was just everything was working. But he retired because he was also a software engineer and he would trade at the same time, and it was just too stressful for him, so he just stopped. That was a very sad moment in my career because I was making a lot of money. But again, like, signal discords are dumb because you don't get any of that personal value. Like, you can't just, were you going to tell people I'm a successful trader? And then you're like, yeah. And then they ask you, what do you do? And then you say, oh, I just copy this to signal. Like, okay, congratulations. Like,
Good for you.
what? Hey, in the end, maybe you won the race. You got the money. So who cares? But I take a lot of pride in this whole process. So that's just me.
Like even when I still have a Discord, but like I rarely use it now. There's only like a couple of people that I talk to for that message in there. But we did live trading once when we're all doing ICT, so it was all like we're all looking at similar stuff. We all like, you know, and like I was thinking about going long, I think, but the market was dropping, and they're all thinking about going short. It's like, oh crap, and like I didn't take it, but it was perfect. It dropped into it, like the fair value gap, and like barely tapped it, and just like ran straight up. And I was like, okay, like I'm not still not immune to this stuff after 5 years, 6 years. So like, it's just, I don't think it's really, like you said, I think it's better to go into the groups and Discords, use them for a little bit, gain what you can, and then like isolate yourself, and then maybe just keep doing that. Like learn, apply, and then that sounds like a good way to do it.
Yeah, and I will say probably this is a bad habit, but at the end of the day, I do like to look at some of the ICT traders on TikTok, just to see their recaps of their trades in the day. I think I kind of just do that just to make sure I'm a little bit aligned with at least ICT concepts, to make sure I'm entering and like exiting at logical places. So like there's a couple of traders where like I go back at the end of the day, I'm like, oh snap, I took that same exact trade. So that actually gave me a lot of confidence to realize that, okay, like there's something here. I still kind of do that as almost maybe like a pettiness thing, where it's like if they lose and I win, I'm like, ha. But no, like it's hard too because there's a lot of other traders like doing ICT, that only do the break of structure entry, or they do like an OTE, or they do like the fair value, like the order block or whatever. And like that's just not like my edge. That's not my system. So I can't.
Yeah.
That's not like proper data. Like if anything, the only thing that's done for me for like still watching them is, I do the entries off of the retracement to a fair value gap, but maybe I could actually apply ICT's pyramid entry model and pyramid entry off of a break of structure, and then another entry off of a fair value gap, and then maybe another entry if there was another fair value gap like under or over that, just to spread out the risk. There's like so many different ways, but it's kind of like that. I think that's a little bit of that continuous learning maybe that I'm still getting from other people, just seeing out like how other people do things, and then that'll kind of give me ideas on what I can do in my trading.
Do you have any specific ones that you like that you follow on
Yeah.
the ICT traders?
I'm just probably not the best to say right now, but I will say I am my like style and everything, like the philosophy, like everything. I'm closest to Tyler trades. Like my trading is extremely close to his. Um, but I follow
He does ICT.
TJR, Justin from yeah, yeah, Tyler trades.
Oh, didn't him and he posted something about the TJR recently, right? About the whole renting.
Yeah, there's a whole controversial thing about that, which is whatever. But yeah, yeah, that guy's like pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. I just trade like him, that's all. But I think in terms of all of those ICT traders, I think it was Justin from Tactical Traders that kind of pushed me forwards in terms of like learning ICT and applying it. But I also follow like Johnny Trades and More Trades and like a whole bunch of other like Roy Han. I think that guy's pretty good, I'd say. Um,
Which one?
his name is like Roy. He's like the guy with the circular glasses with like a Russian accent that always like talks kind of like a high story apartment building, but he never really talks about trades. He only talks about like psychology and journaling. And he's like some AI engineer or something like that. So I'm sure he's like pretty smart.
Yeah, it must be. Though what's funny is when I discovered TJR, I think seeing his content got me into ICT actually.
Nice.
Because I started watching his content and then somehow ICT traders started like commenting on my stuff and saying like, "Hey, you should check out ICT." But then people started recommending other ICT traders. I was like, "Wait, it's not just TJR." They're like, "Check out Tactical Traders," and someone gave me like 3 other people. I was like, "Tactical Traders." He had like 100K followers. I was like, "He's bigger than TGR. I haven't even heard of him." So it's just funny how many are out there. But I think, yeah, TJR and Tactical, I watch Tactical less, but they both seem like good. They're not like just trying to sell stuff or like make stuff up.
Yeah.
Although they do both sell stuff.
I, yeah, I would like to say more, but it's,
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
they're doing their thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's good what they're doing, whatever.
Do you have any like controversial uh um do you have any controversial beliefs in trading or like something that you believe that like no one else agrees with?
Um, stop me if this is not fully aligned with the question, but I will say one thing that kind of bothers me is when people like dismiss trading because it's gambling, because it is. But like we are in the objective to be successful gamblers. Like, we have predetermined risk and we understand the probability of that winning or losing, and then we take it. It's like professional poker players. So like I really hate so much how people call like trading gambling if that's like a bad thing. Because if you're doing it well, then good job. I don't,
Yeah.
that just bothers me.
The the reason I always like when people say gambling though, they say it in a negative like
Yeah.
context and they don't actually understand what gambling is. So to them when they say gambling, they're just like, "Oh, he's just risking all of his money. He doesn't know what he's doing." When in actuality, that's a word, right?
Yep. So,
In reality, gambling we do know we do know something about it. Like we have an edge and we know how much we're risking, there's a plan. We're not just like throwing money um at a wall and like hoping that the stock runs up or down or whatever. Um but yeah, I agree with you. That's something Mark Douglas preaches kind of.
Mm.
I don't think he ever says gambling, but like he always says probabilities, which is
Right.
pretty much gambling, right?
Yeah, and like if you like, I don't fully know, but even if you take a glimpse of what like professional poker gambling looks like, it is so methodical. I think it almost looks like more methodical than trading itself. Like so impressive. Um, because you have the certain like card combinations, and that determines like what you should be doing, etc. There's a lot to it. It's very hard, but I think that's kind of like the controversial take, or rather, um, I think like one of the petty reasons as to why I like trading is because a lot of like the average Joe who don't know anything about it, you're like, no, just do, um, Vanguard index funds, long-term investing, which is fine, perfectly fine. But they dismiss that trading is like real. Like people have actual jobs and they do well. And I guess another thing is just the concept of hedge funds and how people say that, oh, well, if trading is so good, then why do all of these professional hedge funds like they don't even beat the market? Like that's not even the point of the hedge funds to begin with. So very frustrating.
People always that's like one of the number 3 things they say. Oh, if you think you can beat all these hedge funds only get like whatever percentage a year, 10% a year.
Mm,
You think you can get whatever? It's like, okay, you just copied and pasted like the same comment everyone else does. Like
yeah.
you don't really know anything about trading, and that's fine. But um, I have one last question. If you were to give just like, I guess you already said risk management is the biggest thing that's made an impact,
Mm.
right? So if you were like to advise someone who's just getting into trading, what would you tell them? Would it be like risk management? Would it be something else? Would it be like don't trade at all? Or what?
That's tough. I know, in our discussion, I was really honing in on the process more than the profits. But rather than being redundant, I could say, um, yeah. I do also want to say that paper trading, I personally don't like paper trading that much. I think when you actually have skin in the game, that's where the learning comes in. Um, so, and I kind of touched upon this, like you don't really get that learning unless you're like challenged in your trade. Um, if you're just like following someone's signals and like what you should be doing, like they tell you, like you're not really learning anything. Like you need to like really look within yourself, see what you're comfortable with, like your percentage of risk, like how much money are you okay with losing, and you need to like actually trade that. If you're just trading one MES and you have like a 3-point stop loss, like $15 loss, like are you okay with that? And if you are, like I honestly think you should like do that. And if you're not profitable, that's still fine because
Yeah.
you kind of you keep it small and you survive and then you later thrive. And that pain that you get, like when you do lose, it does kind of help you. So I've lost so much. I hate losing so much now. And like that's like you can see that now in my risk management plan. Like I just don't like losing. That's why I have tight stops now. Um, so it's all really part of the process. Like you need to um, take those nice positive lessons, but sometimes you do need to like, get hit a little bit. It's not to say you need to blow up an account, or like it doesn't mean that you have to have like some rock bottom moment, like some like Spider-Man canon event or something. But like you need to like embrace the losses and you need to learn from it.
I think that's good advice, yeah. Because if everything, like imagine you and me and every other trader, we just get into the market and like we all experience this at some point where it's super easy. It's like everything we do just goes our way. Like
Yep.
it's just not, nothing's gonna come from that, or nothing
Exactly.
worthwhile. And that's why you see so many traders, they get lucky, they go on win streaks, or maybe not even lucky, but they're just for some reason very good at trading, and then they run up their account quickly, and then it goes back down just as quick. It's like rare to have some. Yeah. Um. Yeah, that was good. I appreciate you coming on, and like some of the stuff you said, and like I appreciate like the support. One thing you're my third guest so far. I haven't posted the last one yet, but um, I'm starting to realize there might be more people in the backgrounds that like don't actively. I'm not sure if you do actively comment or not. Can't
I do.
remember. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't. Um, but I'm starting to think like there might be more people that don't like actively comment or reach out. That like they do resonate with some of the stuff I post, and like kind of support me from the back, from like the sidelines, I guess, which like that's always appreciated. So thank you.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you're gonna have a lot more of that than you'd think, because the ones that don't say anything, they don't comment, and they just lurk, like they have nothing to prove. Like I don't need to say how much money I make or like anything like that. I don't need to like put you down to make myself feel better. And like those are the mature traders, and unfortunately, those aren't the ones that talk a lot. So that's why I figured I just like come on and just say what I have to say.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, lurking. The ones that are lurking.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again, man.